Hello everyone, welcome to the next video tutorial on the chapter number 2, that is input, output and memory devices. So in the last class we have already discussed about the memory devices and its classification. In today's class we'll explore the further details how the memory can be divided. The memory is divided actually into primary memory and the secondary memory. The primary memory or the primary storage is the storage that is been provided by the memory which is onto the computer system or built onto the computer system. Example of the primary memory includes ROM and RAM. The RAM stands for random access memory and the ROM stands for read only memory. Read only memory, random access memory. So both of this plays an important role in the computer storage. We will discuss them one by one. Then the secondary storage device that we have seen is the storage device or the storage capacity which has been provided by the peripheral devices other than the main memory, you can say. Now, what do you mean by the term called peripheral devices? The peripheral devices are the devices that are attached from outside. They are not directly attached to the motherboard or to the computer system. They are not present on the computer system board. They are attached from outside. Okay, such like you have considered already CD, DVDs, okay, flash drives and other things. Now, when we are talking about the memory, as you already know, the binary digits, that is zeros and ones, are used to represent the data or the information into the memory of the computer, because the computer understands only two kind of words, that is zeros and ones words, or a one language that is called as a binary language. So binary language, as it has been collection of zeros and ones, if the collection of any combination of zeros and ones, that is 8 bits, 8 combinations of either 0 or 1 makes a byte. Okay, 8 bits make a byte. So if I write 1100 1100, that makes a 8 bit. So 8 bits formed together forms a byte. Okay. So you have 0011, that is 4 combination, we will call it as a nibble. So nibble is a combination of 4 binary digits, whereas the byte is a combination of 8 bits or 8 binary combinations. So when I say 2 multiplied by 2 multiplied by, it is multiplied by 2 to the power 10, that is 1024 will be considered as the value. So when I say 2 to the power 10, that is equivalent to 1024 bytes. Now 1024 bytes again multiplied by 10 or 2 to the power 20 is equals to 1024 kilobytes, that is KB. Then 2 to the power 30 we have 1024 megabytes, MB. Okay. Next, similarly, you have gigabyte, terabyte, peta, za, zeta, iota, and brunto bytes that are present in the memory devices. Now, moving forward and exploring the first kind of primary memory, that is read-only memory, ROM. The ROM consists of information that is pre-recorded or pre-burnt. What do you mean by pre-recorded or pre-burnt? When the RAM is been built in the manufacturing, the instructions or the software codes are been written preely, that is before soldering it. While manufacturing only, the records or the information or the software codes or the instructions are pre-recorded. So the ROM consists of information where the information is burnt onto the ROM chip at the manufacturing time itself, that we will consider as information pre-recorded. Once the data has been written onto the ROM chip is inserted into the motherboard, where the information cannot be erased, but it can be read only as many times you want. So the instructions or the data that is been burnt or pre-recorded will be stored permanently onto this device, that is ROM memory. Remains permanently even if the power is turned off, so it does not fluctuate by the power fluctuations. The next kind of memory what we will be talking is the RAM. So before moving to that, we have certain other details about the read-only memory. The read-only memory has the codes to start the computer. Now who takes the job of waking up the computer when the power is turned on? When the power is turned on, the instructions that are required to make the computer or the hardware and the peripheral devices that are attached, such like the devices that are attached to the system can be keyboard, mouse, all are been checked. Okay, all are been sent signal. So the instruction to start the computer is been recorded into the read-only memory. The read-only memory stores the data using the circuits, where the circuit has the fixed state, that means the information is been pre-recorded, they cannot be changed. So even if the power is removed or turned off, the data which is stored under the read-only memory does not get lost. So there is another kind of memory chip, that is BIOS, which stands for Basic Input Output System. So the basic input output system stores the information about the hardware configuration, what type of hardware you are using, what type of keyboard you are using, what is the configuration of the keyboard and all those things, or what is the configuration of the motherboard, or what is the configuration of the ROM, RAM. All this information are being stored into the BIOS. The boot program, that is nothing but two things are stored in the BIOS: the hardware configuration and the boot program. Now what do you mean by boot program? The program is nothing but set of instructions in any context, whatever we are referring to. The boot program refers to the instructions that are needed to start up a computer. When I need to start a computer, I require a program called boot program, which starts the computer or turns on the computer when the computer is given or supplied with the power. There are different types of ROMs that we are going to talk about. That was a 2-mark question related to this particular subtopic. What are different types of ROMs we are having? So we have PROM, where P stands for programmable, and you already know that ROM stands for read-only memory. So programmable read-only memory, EPROM, erasable programmable read-only memory. Then you have EEPROM, electrically erasable programmable read-only memory. Once again, PROM stands for programmable ROM, erasable programmable read-only memory. Next, EEPROM, electrically erasable programmable read-only memory, are the 3 kinds of ROMs that we have in the classification in the syllabus. The first kind of ROM that we are going to discuss is programmable read-only memory, that is PROM. So the PROM comes from the manufactured unprogrammed, that means the instructions are not recorded or not pre-burnt. You need to record the instructions among what you want to choose from or what you want it to be very much specific about. So the unprogrammed ROM will be given and it can be customized or custom programmed in the field whatever you want to meet your need or user's need. So once they are programmed, once they are custom programmed, that is, it provides only one-time programming, just like your CDs, which can be burnt only once and reused many times, CD writables. So once they are programmed, that is, it cannot be changed again. So it is one-time programming depending upon user, or customized programs can be recorded or burnt onto the read-only memory, that is called as programmable read-only memory. The next kind of ROM that we have is erasable programmable read-only memory. So you can erase it, okay, but not, it can be done many times, it can be done only few number of times, that I will tell you. So when the programs are been recorded already, you want to erase the contents and you want to rewrite the ROM contents, then you have to expose it to the high intensity UV radiations or UV light, ultraviolet light, at an about 20 minutes, so that the contents which are stored under the electrically programmable read-only memory will be erased, and this can be done only 2 times, once in the manufacturing and 2 times you can erase, totally 3 times you can burn. So EPROM is cheap, reliable, you can depend upon it, hence they are widely used when the customized programs are to be recorded and you have the ability to change twice the recorded instructions. The next is electrically erasable programmable read-only memory. So in the EPROM, the contents are erased by UV light at around 20 minutes when they have been placed. But whereas in the EEPROM, it can be programmed through the use of special electrical pulses, a special kind of device to program the EEPROM is been used, which has certain special kind of electrical pulses. So electrically erasable programmable read-only memory does not have to be removed from the socket. I have shown you already the socket, what it looks like. So you have seen the socket onto which the ROM is been placed. This is a socket where the ROM is been placed. So while programming in the EEPROM, you need not to remove it from the socket. It can be programmed from there itself, which is onto the motherboard when it is been placed. The next kind of the primary device that is more often used and plays a very much important role in the memory concept or the memory devices is the RAM. Now when you talk about anything, you will be talking about RAM in terms of electronic gadgets. Your phone is been embedded with the RAM, your televisions are embedded with RAM, your washing machines are embedded with RAM, smart washing machines. Okay, many things which are smart, which can perform the task by their own way or set of instructions which are built in, has the RAM or either motherboard. So RAM stands for random access memory, which is the main memory of the computer or primary memory of the computer. The user can write the information into the RAM and read the information from it. So reading operation and the writing operation can be performed onto the RAM by storing the information or writing the information or reading the information. But there is one disadvantage of the RAM is it is volatile in nature. The volatility is considered as the ability to not remember the contents when the power supply is switched off. That means the RAM stores the information as long as the power supply is given to the RAM. So when the power supply has been cut out or cut down, the RAM erases all its contents and it becomes refreshed. So the information written on to the RAM is been retained in it as long as the power supply is on. That is called as the volatile memory. So volatile in the sense the information is retained as long as the power supply is on. When it becomes off, the information will be erased or removed. Now there are different types of RAMs based on which its performance also changes. So this can also be the difference in the type of RAM that we are using. We'll be exploring the difference between different types of RAM. So majorly classification includes two types of RAM. We have static RAM, SRAM, dynamic RAM, DRAM. There is difference between static and dynamic RAM we'll be talking about. The static RAM is further classified into asynchronous, that is asynchronous static random access memory. Then we have SB RAM, okay, with the burst feature. In the dynamic we have FPM, that is first page mode dynamic random read only memory. Then we have EDO RAM, that is extended data, okay, out dynamic random access memory. With the burst EDO RAMs are available. Then we have synchronous also, asynchronous and synchronous. Asynchronous falls under the static one, the synchronous falls under the dynamic one. Now talking about EDO RAM, that is extended data output RAM, this improves the reading and writing operation from the memory in a faster way, hence improving the CPU, that is microprocessor. Then we have static memory. In the RAM, the static word indicates that the memory is retained or the contents in the memory is been retained as long as the power supply has been given. So the RAM need not to be refreshed periodically or regular basis. As long as the power supply is on, the information has been replaced. But whereas there are different in the dynamic RAM, we'll be seeing the difference. Then we have DDR RAM or DDR SD RAM, stands for double data rate synchronous dynamic random access memory. This is the full form. It is type of a faster memory that is available and it can transfer twice the data at the same time when you talk about a simple RAM. So double data rate random access memory is the way of transferring the data which is twice the amount of the normal RAM what it transfers. Talking about the difference between the static and the dynamic memory, which is important for 2 marks. The static memory is having or has a low access time. Low access time is faster rate of fetching the information. Low access time. That means the information is present in hand. Okay. So it is faster compared to the dynamic RAM. But whereas this dynamic RAM has high access time, that means the information that I need to access takes a little longer time than the static random access memory. So the dynamic is slower than the static memory. The static RAM is bit expensive or costlier than the dynamic RAM because it does not require refreshing or periodical refreshment. So the power consumption is very much less in the static RAM, whereas the dynamic RAM are less cost because they use the technology which refreshes the content as many times. So the static RAM requires constant power supply. So there should be a constant power supply, which means that this type of memory consumes more power. So the static memory consumes more power compared to the dynamic memory. So dynamic memory offers reduced power consumption due to the fact that information is stored in capacitors. Due to complex internal circuitries, less storage capacity is available in the static compared to the same size in the dynamic memory chip. Due to the small internal circuitry in the 1-bit memory cell in the dynamic access memory, the large capacity of the storage is available over the dynamic memory. Static RAM has low packing density, whereas it has high packing density. Now the next difference is the major difference that we have spoke in the memory. In the primary memory is the RAM and the ROM. What is the memory? And this is also an important question for 2 marks or 3 marks. We have RAM, volatile in memory, that means the contents are erased when the power supply is off. Non-volatile, the information is pre-burnt or returned, as long as the power supply is on. So data in the RAM is not permanently written. When the power is off, the data will be deleted. That's the meaning of volatile and non-volatile. Permanently, not erased. In special cases, it can be erased and customized. The RAMs are of 2 types, DRAM and SRAM. The ROMs are of different types, PROM, EPROM, EEPROM, and etc. So the RAM, it requires flow of electricity to retain the information or the data. So electricity should flow continuously. But here electricity does not require continuously to retain the information. The RAM has the memory that is available for the operating system or the programs or the applications and the process which uses the computer to run different types of programs. So all these programs are stored under the RAM, whereas the ROM is the type of memory that comes with the computer that is pre-written to hold the instructions for booting, that is starting up the computer. That's the difference between the RAM and the ROM. The next class will be moving to the secondary memory and exploring different kinds of secondary memory. Thank you.